How could you do this to me, Amina? We are supposed to be best friends. Amina's eyes flashed with anger. Maybe it's time you realize that not everything revolves around you, Nia. Under the big branches of the old baobab tree in their village in Nigeria, Nia and Amina's laughter filled the air. The baobab was their special place, its thick trunk giving them shade from the hot sun. Their village, a place with mud houses and thatched roofs, was surrounded by fields where children played and adults walked. Nia and Amina, best friends since they could walk, spent many hours under this tree, dreaming about their future and sharing secrets. Their friendship was very strong. Nia, with her gentle nature and bright smile, was the quieter one, always thoughtful and kind. Amina, bold and adventurous, was the one who always had exciting ideas. Together, they balanced each other perfectly, like two halves of a whole. As they grew up, their friendship became even stronger. They went through school together, enjoyed their teenage years, and faced the changes of growing up. Through all this, they stayed best friends, trusting each other completely. One afternoon, as the sun was setting, making long shadows across the village, Nia and Amina lay under the baobab tree, looking up at the branches. Nia, what do you think the future holds for us? Amina asked, her eyes shining with curiosity. Nia smiled, thinking about her own dreams. I want to be a teacher, Amina. I want to teach the children in our village, to give them chances we never had. Amina nodded thoughtfully. And I want to see the world, Nia. I want to travel to places we have only read about in books. But no matter where I go, I will always come back here, to our village, to you. Their dreams were different but fit together perfectly. They imagined a future where they supported each other's dreams, staying best friends forever. The village was excited one morning as news spread of Juma's return. Juma, who had left years ago to study in Lagos, was someone the village was very proud of. He had grown into a handsome young man, with a charming smile and confidence that made people notice him. Nia and Amina watched from a distance as Juma greeted old friends and told stories about Lagos. Nia couldn't help but feel her heart beat faster when he looked her way. She tried to ignore it, focusing instead on Amina talking excitedly about their plans for the weekend. But Amina noticed the change in Nia. You like him, don't you? She teased, nudging Nia playfully. Nia blushed, unable to hide her feelings. Maybe a little, she admitted with a shy smile. Amina laughed, her eyes twinkling. Well, we will see what happens. Maybe he likes you too. In the next few weeks, Juma's interest in Nia became clear. He looked for her at village gatherings, talked to her, and made her laugh with his stories. Nia, at first shy, found herself liking him more and more, enchanted by his charm and kindness. Amina watched their relationship grow with mixed feelings. She was happy for her friend but couldn't ignore the jealousy she felt. She had always been the one who caught everyone's attention with her adventurous spirit. Now, it seemed, Nia was the one in the spotlight. Despite her feelings, Amina pushed them aside, determined to support Nia. She reminded herself that their friendship was more important than any crush. One evening, the village had a big celebration with music, dance, and food. Under the twinkling stars, Juma took Nia's hand and led her to the center of the crowd. As the music played, they danced, moving together perfectly. At the height of the celebration, Juma knelt on one knee, looking up at Nia. Nia, you are the light of my life. Will you be my partner, my love, and my future? The crowd was silent as Nia, tears of joy on her face, nodded. Yes, Juma. Yes, I will. The village cheered, celebrating the couple's happiness. Amina clapped and smiled, but inside, she felt a storm of emotions. As she watched Nia and Juma embrace, she couldn't shake the feeling that something special was slipping away. As Nia and Juma's relationship grew, Amina struggled with feelings she couldn't control. The jealousy she had hidden now turned into a constant pain. She loved Nia dearly, but seeing her best friend so happy made her feel even more alone. She tried to distract herself with work and hobbies, but nothing helped. Every time she saw Nia and Juma together, she felt worse. She began to distance herself, making excuses to avoid them. Nia noticed Amina pulling away and grew worried. She didn't understand why her friend was acting differently. "Amina, are you okay? You have been so distant lately," she asked one afternoon as they sat under the baobab tree. Amina forced a smile, pretending everything was fine. "I'm okay, Nia. Just busy with work and helping my family. Don't worry about me." Nia nodded, but she still felt concerned. She missed being close to Amina and hoped things would get better soon. Juma's job often took him away from the village, leaving Nia feeling lonely. Amina saw her friend's sadness and decided to help. She spent time with Nia, went on walks with her, helped with chores, and tried to make her happy. In doing this, Amina also spent more time with Juma whenever he was in the village. They talked about his travels and their childhood, finding comfort in each other's company. Despite her efforts, Amina couldn't deny her growing feelings for him. One evening, as they sat by the fire eating, Amina caught Juma's eye and felt a jolt of excitement. She quickly looked away, her heart racing. Juma seemed affected too, his usual confidence replaced by an awkward silence. They both knew they were getting too close, but neither could stop. One night, Juma and Amina found themselves alone after a village meeting. The night was cool, and the stars shone brightly above them. They walked quietly, feeling the tension between them. "Juma, we need to talk," Amina said, her voice shaking. "This, whatever it is between us, it has to stop. Nia is my best friend." Juma nodded, looking serious. "I know, Amina. I feel the same way. But it's hard to ignore what's happening." They stopped under the baobab tree where they had made so many memories. Amina felt tears in her eyes. "I don't want to hurt her, Juma. I can't." Juma stepped closer, gently touching her cheek. "Neither do I. But sometimes, our hearts lead us in unexpected directions." In that moment, they couldn't think clearly, and they kissed, a desperate, passionate kiss that they knew was wrong. When they finally pulled away, they were breathless, shocked at what had happened. "This can't happen again," Amina whispered, her voice full of emotion. "We can't do this to Nia." Juma nodded, his eyes sad. "You're right. It was a mistake." But deep down, they both knew it wouldn't be that simple. Despite their promises, Amina and Juma found it harder and harder to stay away from each other. The forbidding nature of their feelings made them even stronger. They stole moments whenever they could, each kiss and touch making their guilt worse. Nia didn't notice, her love for Juma making her blind to the growing tension between him and Amina. She continued to rely on Amina, not knowing the pain her best friend was feeling. One evening, while Nia was away visiting her family, Juma and Amina met under the baobab tree. The air was thick with unspoken words and feelings. "Amina, we can't keep doing this," Juma said. "It's not fair to Nia." Amina nodded. "I know, Juma. But what can we do? I can't just stop feeling this way." Juma pulled her into his arms, holding her tight. "We have to find a way. For Nia's sake, we have to stop." But even as they promised each other, they kissed again, sealing their fate. As their secret relationship continued, Amina and Juma found ways to meet more often. Amina no longer felt regret, instead, she felt powerful. The thrill of their hidden affair was intoxicating, and she started to believe that Juma was meant to be with her, not Nia. Nia noticed Amina seemed happier and more confident, but she couldn't pinpoint why. "Amina, you seem different lately." "Happier? Is there something you're not telling me?" Nia asked one day. Amina smiled mysteriously. "Just enjoying life, Nia. Sometimes, we have to find our own happiness." Nia nodded, still feeling uneasy but trying to be happy for her friend. The village gathered for Nia and Juma's engagement party. It was a grand celebration with music, dance, and plenty of food. Nia was radiant, her happiness shining bright. Amina stood by her side, but her smile was smug, her eyes often drifting to Juma. During the celebration, Nia noticed Amina and Juma exchanging glances. A chill ran down her spine, but she brushed it off, focusing on the joyous occasion. Amina and Juma's secret moments became more frequent and bolder. They met in hidden spots and even exchanged affectionate notes. Amina was no longer worried about getting caught, she felt untouchable. One evening, Nia found a note in Juma's jacket pocket. It was from Amina, filled with love and passion. Nia's heart pounded as she read the words, her hands shaking. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. Nia's mind was in turmoil. She tried to act normal around Amina and Juma, but her suspicion grew. She started watching them closely, noticing the way they looked at each other and the secretive smiles they shared. One afternoon, Nia confronted Amina. "Amina, I found this," she said, showing her the note. "What's going on between you and Juma?" Amina looked at the note, then back at Nia. Her expression was defiant. "What does it look like, Nia?" "Juma loves me." Nia felt her world crumbling. "How could you do this to me, Amina? We are supposed to be best friends." Amina's eyes flashed with anger. "Maybe it's time you realize that not everything revolves around you, Nia. Juma chose me. Deal with it." Nia was devastated, feeling betrayed and alone. She couldn't believe her best friend and fiancé had done this to her. She started avoiding Amina and Juma, isolating herself from the village activities. Amina, on the other hand, was unapologetic. She felt justified in her actions, believing she and Juma were meant to be together. She walked around the village with her head held high, not caring about the whispers behind her back. Nia couldn't hold her emotions in any longer. She confronted Juma in front of the whole village. "Juma, how could you betray me with my best friend?" she cried. Juma tried to explain, but Nia cut him off. "I don't want to hear your excuses. You've broken my heart, and I will never forgive you." The villagers watched in shock as Nia walked away, tears streaming down her face. Amina stood by Juma, her expression cold and unyielding. Nia went home and cried for hours. She felt humiliated and heartbroken. Her mother, seeing her distress, sat beside her and gently asked what was wrong. Nia poured out her heart, telling her everything about Amina and Juma's betrayal. Her mother held her close, offering comfort. "Nia, you are strong. You will get through this. Sometimes, people we trust the most let us down, but you must rise above it." Amina and Juma continued their relationship openly, but they were not fully accepted by the village. The betrayal left a mark on everyone, and whispers followed them wherever they went. Nia's mother continued to offer her support. "Nia, You are stronger than you think. Focus on your dreams. Don't let their betrayal define you. Nia took her mother's words to heart. Slowly, she started to rebuild her life, focusing on her goal of becoming a teacher. Amina and Juma's relationship faced challenges. They argued frequently, and the weight of their betrayal hung over them. Amina began to realize that the happiness she thought she would find was tainted by the way she had achieved it. Juma, too, felt the strain. He missed Nia's kindness and support and started to see the cracks in his relationship with Amina. Nia found an unlikely friend in an elderly woman named Mama Ibn, who had experienced betrayal in her own youth. Mama Ibn shared her story with Nia, offering wisdom and advice. Forgiveness is not for them, Nia. It's for you. Holding on to anger only hurts you. Let go, and you will find peace. Amina's life wasn't as she had imagined. She decided to leave the village for a while, traveling to a distant city to find herself. She found work helping underprivileged children, and slowly, she began to understand the depth of her actions. After a year, Amina returned to the village, changed and humbled. She sought out Nia, hoping for a chance to make things right. Nia, I'm sorry for everything I did. I don't expect you to forgive me, but I needed to tell you that I regret my actions, Amina said. Nia looked at Amina, seeing the change in her. I appreciate your apology, Amina. It doesn't erase the past, but I hope you've learned from it. Amina's eyes filled with tears of relief. Thank you, Nia. That means more to me than you can ever know. Nia continued, but Amina, while I forgive you, I can't be your friend again. The trust we had is broken, and I need to move on with my life without reopening old wounds. Amina nodded, understanding. I understand, Nia. Thank you for your forgiveness. I will always wish you well. Juma, having observed the changes in both Nia and Amina, decided it was time for him to leave the village and seek a fresh start. He left a heartfelt letter for Nia, apologizing for his actions and wishing her the best in life. Nia read the letter and felt a sense of closure. She forgave Juma in her heart and wished him well. She felt lighter, ready to embrace new opportunities and relationships. The story of Nia and Amina teaches us that while forgiveness is a powerful and necessary step towards healing, it does not always mean restoring broken relationships to their former state. True forgiveness allows us to let go of resentment and find peace within ourselves. Trust, once broken, may not be reparable, and moving on with grace and dignity can sometimes mean leaving the past behind. It is important to learn from our mistakes, to respect the feelings of others, and to prioritize our own well-being and happiness in the journey of life. If you enjoy our stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next video. Bye.